Hi, beautiful souls. Welcome back. Namaste. I am here to do a follow-up reading for your tarot card of the year, if it was strength. And these readings are a follow-up from a series of readings that I did at the end of 2022. And there's lots of information in the description below for you to look at that. I'm just going to go to Donna's comment here. Donna, these are the cards that I drew in December. So the exact same cards. I have not drawn new cards. This is a reflection, a review of that reading. And then I am going to draw a single card to expand on that. So just expanding on Donna's comment here. So these readings, let me just get those cards up on the table for you. These are the cards that were drawn for you for your strength card in December 2022, the end of the year. And for me, when I do year ahead readings or card of the year readings, it's important to go back and to reflect on where I have come. And here we are, 6 months into the year, in the wake of a very beautiful, strong, super full moon. And I just felt the need to revisit these readings and to get you to go back and look at these readings and see where you are and sort of expand your connection to these readings and how they can help you move through what it is you are moving through. And this reading is for strength. So you might be reading this as strength as my card for 2023. You may also be reading this as your Leo message for the year, whether Leo is your sun or your ascendant. And yes, so Laura is noticing here that a lot of the same cards were drawn for the previous card. And in these tarot card of the year readings, this happened. I could tell you if I looked it up. The Daughter of Cups came up a number of times in more than just the Chariot and the Strength reading. And I would have to say that, the cards that were big repeaters are definitely major themes for a lot of us working through stuff in 2023. It's just another way to explain and understand how connected we all are. And why sometimes when we're doing a tarot reading, it feels like, oh, wow, didn't I just see this in a reading the other day? Yeah. And, I just have a personal reflection right now. The birds. You know how when you put seeds in the garden and you forget to cover up the garden and before the seeds can sprout, the birds get the seeds? There's something about the letting go, right? The sharing all that you have, the sharing the abundance. That's really important. So Chariot, not Chariot, Strength in a Chariot year. This is a card of deep, deep inner strength. And I love the dragon that Margaret Peterson has on this card here. There's a lot of, I see the swirl of energy. I don't know whether you see it over Swadhisthana chakra or Manipura chakra, sacral chakra, or solar plexus chakra. And I would like to talk about that as well too. And Laura, the Buffalo card is pulling your attention. So yes, I will address the Buffalo card. But you will notice that the Daughter of Cups is here again. The Daughter of Cups, yes, Donna. So I offer seed in exchange for the beauty of the song that the birds share with us. I think that's really beautiful. Dancer of life. So in this oracle, the dancers, oddly to me, are connected to the solar plexus chakra. And so I have a feeling that the energy, well, that makes a lot of sense, right? Because strength is a fire card. So this swirl of energy would be over Manipura chakra. So in yogic teachings, the frontal access point for the solar plexus chakra is the navel center, the belly button. And so there's different practices we can do breathing into the navel center to help to awaken and stimulate and heal and work with Manipura chakra. And hi, Perry. Thank you. And so it's kind of beautiful that the dancer of life is in the solar plexus chakra. And I want to read this to you as my inspiration to kind of get going on this reading. I am the dancer of life. I celebrate all that is, all that has been, all that will be. And I dance throughout all the human and spiritual realms, following the bright thread of life that connects everything that has being. And this weaves into another theme that was in the last reading as well, too. So these threads together in a way weave a complete story. And I know a few of you listened to all of the readings last time, and that certainly is quite an undertaking, but these threads are really important. I teach strength and I impart a belief in the sacredness of all living things. I bring with me the power that breaks down all barriers, that survives in the face of all odds, and that shines forth in even the darkest of moments. And this is one of the greatest lessons of the Daughter of Cups. You may also notice that I moved the cards. They're in different positions this time. And this was my original setup for this reading. So I am going to have the suit of water here, and fire over water, and air over earth. And usually when I divide a tarot deck into 4 piles, this is the order that I put the cards. But in December, when I did the Chariot reading, I moved the cards around intuitively to match with the energy that was in the illustration for the Chariot card. Okay. There is a lot of energy with the Chariot, a Chariot year sitting underneath a Strength card. Also remember that this is Chariot is Cancer and Strength is Leo. And so we have this sun and moon thing that's going on here. The moon perhaps driving the sun, moon underneath, the moon guiding and supporting the power of the solar energy. So that is, I think, really an important part of this. And perhaps that is why the Daughter of Cups needs to be here again. And as the dancer of life, as I read in the Dancer of Life, she teaches strength, imparts belief in sacredness of all things, and in the face of all odds, she understands the beauty and the grace of the darkness. And as I was saying in the last hour, it's so important to be with both the dark and the light together. Now, strength gets us to dive deep into our being, diving deep into the solar plexus chakra, which is the place of the ego. It's the place where we identify from. And as we mature and as we go through life, hopefully, we get clearer on the mundaneness of it. You know how we're going to be in this life and what we're going to do and how we're going to move through this third dimension. But there's also this higher level of life purpose that's really important here. And finding one's life purpose and understanding one's life purpose may or may not equate to where we are in our career. And I think strength as your card in a chariot year, in a 7-year, is really pushing you into a new way of being, perhaps moving into the freedom that the Dancer of Cups was talking about. This is about honoring your passion and honoring your drive. This Six of Flames card, you know, it almost, we see a couple here in the heat of passion. And I think we need to remember what sixes are about. And sixes, all that they reflect in this beauty of divine masculine and divine, the power of the connection of the divine masculine and the divine feminine energy. And that is what is driving the energy of the Chariot. So your inner strength becomes brighter, becomes more illuminated, the more that you find balance and accept the harmony of this. And I know this sounds a lot like what I was saying in the last hour, but there are subtle differences here, because there's a heart connection that wasn't in the previous reading. And I feel like this takes something to another level, and that is understanding the heart healing of this drive, the heart healing of this passion. This buffalo card, Laura, that was grabbing your attention, there is at the center of the card, very vivid green color. And there's something very beautiful that is going on with the healing of the heart and this particular card here as well too. And this development, I think, is one that in the journey through water and the journey through emotion, which underlies this deep inner exploration of your fortitude, of your strength, is going to awaken something in you that you haven't felt for a long time. Something may have it, I feel as if you, of course you lost something, but you lost it so deeply that I wonder if you wondered if you would ever get it back. And I think this is a year of understanding that it is there. And it's there for you to not grasp, but to know again in a new way. I'd like to share with you just a couple of things from the Buffalo card. And there's something about this sacred energy that is coming through in all of these cards. I suppose if we look at strength as an 8, it is a 4 on a 4. A 4 on a 4. And Carla, the creator of the Tulku Oracle, which is this deck here, says it's important to recognize certain boundaries and agreements as sacred. And I think that in this exploration of one's strength, there are limits, there are places at this time that we can't go beyond. Buffalo calls you to speak and honor your vision to reach a point of solidity, to reach a point of knowing who you are as a sacred being walking this mundane earthly experience. And the way to do that is to connect to your heart without attachment. And so the Daughter of Cups sits here reminding us, once again, to feel both, to feel all, to know that the heart will awaken the more we live both and know both and trust both, and that it is the yin and the yang, and that is the way it is. These are very touching oracles that showed up in this reading. The bottom one from the Kantaji oracle says, "You are seen." And when I read those words and look at this whole picture here, I wonder if this is a reading that is simply saying, you've come to this place in your life where now you have permission to let your light shine bright. Perhaps you didn't feel seen, or you weren't seen in a previous relationship. And I was very touched by the Six of Flames, this card of passion and heart and deep connection, being opposite the Three of Feathers. And so I wonder if there was a love lost, a deep, true love lost. This could be a loss of a twin flame. It could be a separation from your best childhood friend that kind of shifted everything. And through that loss, you just weren't sure who you were anymore and didn't know how to identify with yourself. Didn't know how to define yourself without the other. And you, as a unique being, are now ready to grow into this, to move through the emotions. So emotions is second chakra, heart chakra is air, and it's this place where the emotions rise into a higher frequency. And it's through this understanding that you grow and know what your strength is, what your strength stands for, and how you can always be in your strength, no matter how you are feeling. And sometimes we need to withdraw. That sacred space can be really, really important. We need to create that sacred space so we can feel and know our fire. It's very, very intimate. And when I look at this energy on the solar plexus chakra here in the strength card, I'm reminded of how challenging this work is. And there's a breathing exercise you can do really for any of the chakras. And for the solar plexus chakra, I think it's the most difficult. So the frontal point is the navel center. And I would not just dive into this, but you draw or you feel a line of energy from the navel center directly back to the spine. And you breathe back and forth from the navel center to the spine. So it's almost like you're breathing through your belly. You're breathing through a lot of organs in your body. And you close your eyes and you trace this line back and forth, inhaling from the navel center to the spine, exhaling from the spine to the navel center. almost like you're just sending light energy through this chakra, helping to clear the way. And I think of all the chakras, this exercise is the most difficult for most people. It is so muddy, and there's a long distance. It's one of the chakras that has, for some people, the longest distance from the front to the back. And so it can feel a lot overwhelming, and I think a lot of the solar plexus work can feel overwhelming. And so that's why the sacred space is so important. So very important. And so I want you to remember, if this is your reading, that this chariot energy, while you might think of that as, go, 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 dynamic energy, it is Cancer energy. It's powerful, isn't it, Perry? Yeah. This Cancer energy underneath the solar plexus energy, this lunar energy underneath the solar energy, is one that will help you to know your truth unconditionally. Okay, I was going to use a different deck, but I'm feeling like I want to expand with the same deck I used last time, which is the Tarot of the Strange Branches, Le Tarot au Amour Étrange. And my question here is, what is it about the underlying lunar energy, or what is the message from the underlying lunar energy that can help me to know this Manipura chakra, the solar plexus chakra, more intimately? Okay. And if this is your reading, then please place a hand on your navel center, and you might want to place your other hand on your heart. I was going to say on your back body, but why don't you place it on your heart? Because there's very strong heart energy in this reading. Know that you are seen. It is more than okay to feel any range of emotion in this experience. And as through 2023 you continue to understand where your strength is coming from, know that there is guidance in your emotional body. And let this card provide us with additional insight. It's five of wands. So the fives in tarot are Tree of Life association would be Mars. The fives are a place of aloneness. And I feel something very powerful here in the water card, and the fact that you are seen. And while you may be out on a limb, I want you to think about all of the people through time who had to go out on a limb, or the wisdom that they shared following their experience out on that limb brought so much insight for others. I wonder if you are a guide. You are a guide, or will be a guide for others, and that your bravery here, your daring, your fearlessness, which makes kind of sense of this being a year of strength. Your fearlessness is so much more than your own work. Now, when I look this particular well, there's so many things. This is a great card, and it's funny, I have in many tarot decks in the Five of Wands, we see 5 people in a tree, and in this deck we see a solo person in a tree who is perhaps looking back, looking over their shoulder, reflecting on the fiery situation that they are leaving. Now, when you go out on a limb, this has a lot of different meanings, and you might connect to this in a different way. But it's funny, you know, I don't know why, but I'm thinking of Shirley MacLaine. Shirley MacLaine wrote a book many years ago called Out on a Limb. And this was at a time where she publicly shared her spiritual journey and the amazing experiences that she had on that journey. I was deeply affected by those books. I was a young woman exploring her spirituality at that time, and I just felt so connected to her. And I wonder if you going out on a limb is there to inspire another, one who is closer to you than you even know. When I went out on a limb, I traveled alone in the world, and I had some amazing, unforgettable, it was an incredible time, incredibly transformative time in my life. And so as you come into this second half of 2023, in a strength year, driven by the Chariot, I think Spirit here is asking you to get brave, and if you've been holding back, it's time to do this. I want to go to the 8 of Coins because I haven't addressed that, and that leaf print is such a strong card for me. And if you think of 8s, well, let's look at this, because this is Dancer, this is solar plexus chakra. There's a lot of solar plexus growth that's going through here, and I think there's a memory of a flame that you once knew, but you have worked through a difficult experience to get back sort of full circle where you are. When I look at 8s, I think of lemniscate energy, sort of a leveling up energy. When I think of pentacles, suit of coins, this is the 4th suit for me. This is a suit of integration. It's the suit of kind of pulling this all together. So this is a redefining of your reason for being, really. But in order to know it, going out on a limb is the advice here. The sap from the earth's womb and the light from the universe nourish the whole system, consisting of roots, trunk, branches, and leaves. The leaf tells stories about the workings of the cosmos, about coldness and heat, light and darkness, spring and summer, fall and winter. It talks of the interconnectedness of the plant and animal kingdom and the human realm. And there is no hierarchy, only an interconnectedness and interrelatedness. If you look closely at the leaf, whole worlds will open up. The leaf is an octave, whereas the number 4 represents a space defined by its boundaries. The number 8 is ruled by cosmic dimensions. And so you are, in a way, in redefining this strength, moving through a portal, moving through courageously, moving through to a new way. And vulnerability, yes, is absolutely required here. And being okay with not knowing is also okay. And that is part of the development of solar plexus chakra as well, too. So if you have studied solar plexus energy from a yogic point of view, you will know that its highest frequency is trust. And isn't the greatest trust in trusting yourself? I can, and I will, and I am doing and being who I am. And from this time forward, I won't let others define me. Because in order to connect more deeply to my life purpose, there is no compromising. I am a sacred being walking a human experience. And I will accept nothing less. Strength requires courage. It requires balance and trust. Thank you. I will see you in a little bit, and I will carry on. I'm going to do 2 more readings, 2 recap readings today in about an hour. Take good care. Thank you for being here. Namaste.